Welcome back. This is the second lesson recording for IM2, December 3rd, 2020. So now we're going to multiply binomials with binomials. And if you recall from IM1 last year, you actually did this using the area model. Okay, so what that was where you thought of the first binomial as, in this case, you're multiplying this binomial as the length and the second binomial as the width. And since area of a rectangle, is always length times width, so when we're looking for area, we are saying we are multiplying 3x minus 4 by 4x plus 2. And if you recall, you created since we are multiplying two-term binomial, two term with another two term, this will be a 2 by 2 box. Sometimes you call it the box method, area model. Either would work. And the length is 3x minus 4. The length goes on one of the side, and the width goes in the top. And it does not matter if they are reversed. Okay, you could put 4x plus 2 here and then 3x minus 4 here. It does not matter because with multiplication, the order does not matter, remember? Okay, so then from here, what did you do? We are multiplying. Okay, you need to be consistent with multiplying. So what I'm finding with many students is sometimes you multiply, sometimes you add, and so on and so forth. To find the area, so in this case, you're finding the area of this rectangle, and the length here is 4x here, and the length here is 3x. So to find the area of this rectangle space, 4x times 3x is going to be 4 times 3, which is 12, and x times x is going to be x squared. Likewise, we are finding the area of this rectangle, which has the length of 2, but the width of 3x. So 2 times 3x is going to be 6x. And this was the area of the length having 4x. So you're multiplying 4x here, 4x times negative 4. 4x times negative 4. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And then x. And then finally, again, you're finding the area, this area that is represented. And the length is 2. And the width is negative 4. So 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Okay, so you could be saying that, oh, you can't have a length of negative 4. Well, that's where the model breaks down, but you can still have the length of 3x minus 4. So that still does work. Okay, so and then from here, what did you do? Then you found the area to be 12x squared plus 6x. So now we're saying that the total area is made up by this area plus this area plus this area plus this area. So we're just pretty much adding them all up. Plus negative 16x plus negative 8. Okay, so we're basically adding up all the little areas. And then from here, we can combine like terms. Where are my like terms? It's these two, right? So that means the 12x squared still stays, and then 6x plus negative 16x. So that's going to be negative 10x. And then plus minus 8. I can write that as minus 8 here. All right, so that is my final answer, that I have basically multiplied 3x minus 4 times 4x plus 2 and got my answer to be 12x squared minus 10x minus 8. Okay, so now you're going to go on to card number 12 to 17 where you're using the area model. So it's basically a review of IM1 from last year. Okay, so card number 12. The area of 11 by 7 grid can be written as the product of two sums. So if you have 11, that's the width is 11 and the length is 7, or width is 7 and length is 11. It does not really matter. Okay, so this, we know that to find the area of this big rectangle, you can multiply um, 11 times 7, that's going to be 77, or in this case 11 by 7, or you can think of it as this little area plus this little area plus this little area and this finally this little area. Okay, so in which case, all right, so that's going to be the length can be split up as 5 plus 6. So 11 can be split up as 5 plus 6 because that's what the length was. So that's in parentheses. And 4 plus 3 is the width. And that's what's in the parentheses here. Okay, explain why this makes sense or ask question if it is unclear. All right, so in this case, basically, we're just splitting the length as of 11 as 5 plus 6 and the width of 7 as 4 plus 3. So you're basically talking about the same area. So that's why it would work. All right, so but this time, oh no, we only know a couple of the dimensions. What is the total area? We're trying to figure out what is the total area. This time, we cannot combine the length. Before it was like 3 plus 6 or 5 plus 6. We can actually, since they were like terms, we could combine those, but now we cannot. But that still does not cause us a problem because we can split them up and find the area of little rectangles and then add them all up. So how do we do that? What is the area of this blue rectangle? The length is x and the width is x, so that's going to be x squared here. What about this orange rectangle? The length is 6, the width is x, so x times 6 is 6x. And this rectangle, the width is 2, the length is x here. So x times 2 is 2x. And then finally, 6 times 2 is going to be 12. So then I have x squared plus 6x plus 2x plus 12. Since 6x and 2x are like terms, I can combine those and get x squared plus 8x plus 12, and that would be my final answer. All right, now let's do some more area model using where you're multiplying monomial with binomial. Okay, so in this case, the monomial goes here. And the length, because that 2a is the length, the width is a to the power of 6 minus a to the power of 3. Okay, so then to find the area, you just need to multiply 2a times a to the power of 6. 2 times 1 is 2. A times a to the power of 6 is going to be a to the power of 7. 2 times this is, again, you can think of it as -1. Okay, when you don't have a number here, you can think of it as -1. -1 times 2 is -2. A times a to the power of 3 is a to the power of 4. Okay, So we figured out that 2a times a to the power of 6 minus a cubed is going to be same as 2a to the power of 7 minus 2a to the power of 4. That's my final answer. Okay, I think you can do the next one, and it's going to give you feedback as well. And again, now this time we are using the binomial. We are multiplying two term, that means it's a binomial, by another two-term polynomial, which is called binomial. So binomial by binomial. So that means the length is 2x plus 8, and then 6x plus 2. So then that becomes 2 times 6 is 12x, and 2 times 2 is 4x. And then 6x times 8 is 48x, and 2 times 8 is 16. Oh, I made a mistake, haven't I? And this is a very common mistake that a lot of students make. 2x times 6x is 12x squared. Okay, now finally, my final answer is going to be not as it is. I need to be looking to see, do I have any, I am basically going to be adding all the answers inside the rectangle, right? I need to be looking to see, are there any like terms that I can combine? 4x and 48x, they are like terms. So that means we can combine those. So the final answer is going to be after you combine these two. So this, there are no x squared terms, so that stays as it is. 4x plus 48x is going to be 52x, and then plus 16. And that's my final answer. Okay, and this is a little bit more tricky. Now this time we are multiplying 6x squared minus x plus 2 multiplied by 4x plus 2. Okay, so 4x plus 2 is my width, so 4x plus 2, and then 6x squared minus x plus 2 goes here. Okay, this is no more difficult because you're just basically multiplying this 4 times 6, that's going to be 24. X times x squared is going to be x to the power of 3. 4x times negative x. Remember, when you see a negative x, that's like negative 1x. Okay, so negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Negative 4, x times x is x squared. And 2 times 4x is going to be 8x. 6x squared times 2 is going to be 12x squared. Negative x times 2 is going to be negative 2x. And 2 times 2 is going to be positive 4. Okay, so then again, we need to be looking for like terms before for our final answer. So do we have any more x cubed terms? No, we don't. Do we have any x squared terms that I can add? Yes, we do. These two, right? Okay, so, and what about x terms? There are 8x and negative 2x, and there are no other constant. I could not get rid of this undefined thing. So anyway, the final answer is going to be 24x to the power of 3. Negative 4x squared plus 12x squared is going to be 8x squared. 8x minus 2x is going to be 6x, and then plus 4 is going to be my final answer.